Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel, and this is your October 2020 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. Regarding personal readings, I'm still taking a break from those. I'm not sure when I'm going to start those back up, but when I do, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. As far as what we have in front of us, we have the Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled a couple of oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys. An extra oracle card came up too, so a lot to get to. We'll get started with the main situation. Main situation position, we have the Four of Swords. So this is actually Libra energy here. It represents the last 10 degrees of Libra. But really what I'm picking up on with this more than anything for you guys, I feel like you guys are really just in a contemplative mode right now, maybe taking a bit of a rest. But I feel like you're plotting and strategizing as well. So I feel like, you're just thinking about ways to move forward. Given that Libra for you guys is your ninth house, it could just be pointing to thinking about possibly higher education, for example, or just possibly moves, mixing with other cultures, just a few different things that I could see that might be on your mind. But yeah, I feel like you're just thinking about ways to move forward, advance yourself to the next level. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Six of Wands. So I can see this coming across a couple different ways. For one, this could just be saying that what you're thinking of is possibly some ways to get yourselves some more recognition. So for example, let's say you've been at a certain job for a while and you feel like you've been getting passed up for promotions, just a random example, right? And you're thinking about, okay, well, what can I improve to help me stand out a little bit better, right? That's just one generic way the energy could be playing out. For some of you, this could even just be saying that you're trying to rest and get some time away from people, but you might have a lot of people coming out and reaching out to you and contacting you, so that could be disturbing your peace in a little bit in that regard. And for others of you, this can be around partnerships as well, where maybe you feel like you've been the one putting in more work in the connection, and now you're actually waiting for the other person to do their fair share of the work, so you could just be withdrawing in that regard too. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the Queen of Swords. So more Libra energy here, and this is actually an indicator that you're looking for balance, right? So whatever the situation's around, I mentioned one potential romantic connection scenario, we talked about career, whatever the case may be, it looks like you're just very interested in balance. And given that, like I said, we do see that Four of Swords, I feel like for a lot of you, you feel like you've paid your dues, you've been putting in the work, so you're either waiting for that balance to be restored by someone else putting in their fair share, or you're thinking of ways to get that balance, right? Like, okay, I've been overgiving, it hasn't been getting noticed, right? What can I do to actually help that recognition come forward? So I feel like that's what's on your mind in a lot of ways. And with this being the Libra card coming up in Libra season, could just be saying that things that unfold this month might actually help you guys get that recognition, or at least some clarity on how you can get it. In the past position, we have Death in reverse, the Devil in reverse, King of Cups in reverse, and the World in reverse. So I'll put these in the upright while we talk about them anyway. This is Scorpio energy here, and we are going to actually have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio this month. Well, in October, that is. I'm recording this in September, but in October, that's when the retrograde will take place. So this could just be pointing back to things coming back around from possibly as far back as previous Scorpio season, or maybe even Taurus season when we had that Scorpio full moon. But this can be pointing to things around career for you guys, and maybe it's saying that, in the past you didn't leave a career behind. You might have felt obligated to keep doing that work for whatever reason. For example, there's plenty of reasons why we do that, right? Sometimes you build connections with the people you work with, then you might want to leave on the one hand because you might feel a little stuck, but you're like, okay, but I built these relationships with these people, I want to keep working with them, right? King of Cups, again, another indicator of Scorpio energy, but also this was in reverse. And then with the World card in reverse, feel like it's saying that you might have felt stuck in a way, actually. Again, primarily I say that because of that devil in the reverse there, where, you might have just felt like there was some obligation that you felt, and it could just be saying that karmically that might have been the case. And I feel like with these all being in the reverse, it could just be saying that there was something there that you hadn't quite learned, and that was why you might have been stuck in that cycle. Doesn't have to be career for all of you, but that came to mind given that for you guys, Scorpio is your 10th house of career and social status. So this can be just around how you're perceived as well, your image, right? So I feel like that's what that's saying. And I feel like you know that now, given that we have that Four of Swords. I feel like you have that understanding in some way that, okay, I'm not being perceived in the way that I'd hoped, right? In the way I thought I was being perceived. So now you're just trying to figure out, well, how can I shift that in the way that I want it to, right? So that's what I see there. Um, Present position, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So more Leo energy here. So again, this for some of you, this can be around relationships. This can be you too if maybe, let's say, there's been a little bit of a contentious energy within a one-on-one relationship. Could just be saying that you're withdrawing from that, right? And that could be what that Four of Swords energy is about. Like, all right, you know what? We've been arguing back and forth. My main focus this month is peace and balance, right? With that Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Foundation. You're like, I'm not even bothering getting into these conflicts right now. This is actually a pretty good energy for you to be in because we do have that Mars retrograde that started recently in your third house of communication, which is Aries. So you might have people that could be coming at you with communication that you might find to be a little bit off, right? But I feel like this is saying you're not in a very reactive mood, which is probably the best way to handle that transit anyway, if you can, which is to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take some time, fully integrate what was said before I react, right? So I feel like this is a good energy for you guys to be in, but definitely with that Five of Wands in reverse and then the Four of Swords in the main situation. Looks like you guys are just withdrawn, trying to stay calm this month and really just focusing. In the near future position, we have the Lovers. So if this is around a relationship, again, maybe, like I said, maybe the person you're with, they might have some kind of a blow up, for example. And by you not responding in kind, it could just be saying that that actually helps. Because maybe it was just a temporary blip with all the crazy energies going on. And once that's through, this could just be saying that you guys might actually get that positive forward movement in the connection. I will say, especially right at the very start of Libra season, because I'm recording this pretty much the middle of September. And right at the start of Libra season, I actually warned Libra about this. It's going to be a pretty tense aspect going on with Mercury's going to be opposite Mars, which again, that's your house communication. And then they're both going to make a square to Saturn in your 12th house too. So that definitely can cause some confusion there with communications. So if that's around the time when that happens, that looks like that was definitely the right move on your part to just withdraw, say, okay, let me not overreact to anything, right? And then get that forward movement. So it looks like you will have some positive movement there. If this is around creativity, like I said, maybe you guys are trying to figure out your branding in some way, like, okay, how can I present myself in a better way that would get me more recognition? Seeing the Lovers come up here in the near future as well is also a positive sign, saying that whatever you figure out looks like it would be the right thing to do. All right. In the position of your influence on a situation, we have the Moon. So this can just be saying that you might not be seeing things too clearly at this time. And again, I feel like if that's the case, you definitely seem to be picking up on that with that Four of Swords, where I feel like you guys are realizing, like, okay, I'm missing something here, right? I'm not getting the recognition I'm expecting. What's going on? How can I shift the energies in a more positive way? So I feel like this could just be saying that this might be the energy you guys are in. Pretty early on in October, like pretty much right at the start of October, there's going to be that full moon in Aries, which again, that's your third house communication. And it's going to be conjunct Chiron. So could be one of those things there where you might actually come to a realization around communication. Like I actually mentioned this in one of your readings a while back, where sometimes people see you as a bit rebellious and whatnot, right? And I say that you got to keep in mind that for you guys, your third house of communication is ruled by Mars. So sometimes you could come across that way when that's not even your intention, you know? So maybe you're just coming to some kind of realization there in that regard. And it's interesting too to see that the Queen of Swords in the foundation is pointing toward the moon as well. So I feel like you guys are going to be able to cut through the fog and come to a realization around something this month. All right, in the environment position, we have the Eight of Wands. So this can represent a couple different things. This usually represents movement. Again, I feel like this is pointing to you withdrawing in some way. We saw that with the Four of Swords. We see it with the Five of Wands in reverse. And now seeing this here in the environment, I feel like it's just saying that you're really probably going a bit inward this month. Again, like I said, I feel like you guys are really figuring out some things. Okay, how can I move forward, right? Which makes sense. You know, you guys have more Saturn moving through those last degrees of Capricorn, which is your 12th house. So that could be one of those things where it helps you see where maybe you might have gotten in your way in some way. You know, maybe not intentional, obviously, but helping you clear that up before it comes into your sign toward the end of the year. So that's what I'm seeing there. And again, like I said, if this is a situation where someone might have been coming at you in a bit of a combative way, looks like this is saying that you would successfully diffuse that situation anyway. And for others of you, this can just point to, of course, some delays with communication as well, since we will have that Mercury retrograde. Obviously, that would make sense too. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Cups. So again, yes, for some of you, this could definitely be pointing to a romantic connection, but more than anything, I'm getting another vibe here of balance, right? You want to get back what you put in. So we see that with the Queen of Swords. Like I said, the Four of Swords, I was picking up energy as well. And now seeing this here. So whether it's around a romantic relationship or not, this could just be saying that, you know, you're hoping for that positive give and take, right? Where you feel like everyone's doing their fair share, people are on equal footing. So it seems like that's really something you're interested in this month. And in the outcome position, we have the Five of Cups. So this is actually Scorpio energy here, and I feel like this is more than anything, the vibe that I'm getting with this is you guys being a bit self-critical in a way towards the end of the month. Keep in mind, at the very end of October, I think right on Halloween actually, there's going to be a full moon in Scorpio, right in these degrees basically. And the full moon's going to be in Taurus while the sun is in Scorpio. So right at the very end of the month, you're going to have that full moon energy. And I feel like it's just saying, especially it's going to be with Uranus, which is your ruler. So I feel like you could feel like a push-pull dynamic there where you might look more to the negative side of a situation where there's definitely a lot of positive potential. So this could even say, for example, one way it could play out for you is you come to that realization of some way that you might have been getting in your way, right? So then you start to think about, oh, all of these missed opportunities I've had because I was getting in my way during this time. Man, what a shame, right? As opposed to thinking, all right, I figured it out now, I can move forward. And I always point out with the Five of Cups energy, what always stands out to me is we have that neutral gray background, you know, as opposed to like these blue backgrounds we see in some cards, or the yellow backgrounds, some of them have black backgrounds. So the neutrality of the color always stands out to me, which is to say it's like an option, right? You could focus on those spilled cups, or you could focus on what's still standing there. And I feel like for a lot of you, like I said, I feel like you're going to go into that introspective mode for a bit. I think you're going to figure some things out. But I feel like maybe at the end of the month with that full moon, you might be drawn back to the more negative side of that. Like as opposed to saying, okay, cool, I figured it out, ready to move forward now. You might look back on, oh man, I missed out on these opportunities. So, you know, try to keep that in mind. It looks like you guys are figuring some things out. And there's definitely some forward momentum that you guys could get into even as we move into Scorpio season more toward the end of October and into November as well. So something to keep in mind there. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool card. So to me, this is more just saying that I feel like this is more when you come to that realization, right? Where you figured whatever this blockage is out that you have going right now, and you say, okay, now I'm ready to move forward. So like I said, you might have that moment. I don't think that's going to last too long, where you might really look at a situation like, okay, figured it out. You'll eventually get out of focusing on the missed opportunities and actually move toward the forward momentum you could get going forward. And I do have to say, we do have the Tower underneath that as well. So keep in mind, especially like I said, there is going to be that Mercury retrograde. So if you're thinking about just taking a blind leap of faith, you might want to just really think it through a little bit more. It looks like you're already in that mode anyway, which is the good thing. So between this being underneath the Fool card and the Moon card there, just try to give things a little more thought. And that could even be what it is too, where you might have a moment with that Five of Cups where you might be more focused on the negative and might make a rash decision in that regard and then end up regretting it. So just keep that in mind. I feel like everything's going to be fine. I feel you guys are really going to come to some important insights this month, which are really going to help you moving forward. Like I said, you might just have that moment where, okay, you come to the realization, and with a little more time to pass, you look at it as a positive, like, great, I figured out what this blockage was, right? Why I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be. Now I'm on my way there. You might have that moment of, oh man, I wasted this much time, because I hadn't realized this at the time. Missed out on opportunities, blah, 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 right? So that's what I'm seeing there. Moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we have Poised. There's the artwork, and the number is 48. Okay, it says, being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. The Oracle's message, you can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need to, your skills are sharp, you've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. So interesting message there. And especially it does say an auspicious time to begin new things. Like I was saying with that Fool card, we do see the Tower right underneath it. So try to balance those two though. Like I said, I feel like you're definitely going to come to an insight about something, a blockage that might have been getting in your way for a while. Just might not be the exact time to act on it with the retrograde energy, but if you do, just try to think it through a little bit. All right. The relationship message says, when you're confident and happy in your own skin, you are ready for deeper, more intimate relationships. You have nothing to prove right now. You are completely yourself and can handle anything. Love, friendships, and harmonious new connections are all present now or are coming in. You're ready to give and receive from the heart. This is a beautiful place to be. So an interesting message there where it says you have nothing to prove right now. That made me think of what I was saying with that Four of Swords energy, where I feel like for a lot of you feel like, okay, I've put in the work, right? I've paid my dues. It's time for the other person to reciprocate, right? And we saw that Two of Cups energy. So that's the page that you're on. It looks like that message agrees with that. All right, the prosperity message says you have every reason to feel confident. Everything you need to make your success concrete is now at your disposal. You can take action knowing you are ready to step into your power, into your light, and into your service to the world. The direction you're moving in is your destiny. Your soul is smiling with joy as you align with this truth. So definitely a good message there. Like I said, I definitely feel like you guys are going to be coming into some insights about something. Like I said, it could just be that full moon energy, which is going to be a pretty intense one at the very end of October. Might have you guys feeling a little bit nostalgic looking back on, oh man, I could have had this, could have done that, right? But overall, looks like it's going to create positive forward momentum for you. All right, next we have flexible. There's the artwork, and the number is 19. Okay, it says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the trees remain supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So definitely an interesting message there. Like I said, I feel like you're going to be in that introspective mode, and I feel like that is when you're going to get some of these insights. And then I thought it was interesting as well when it says, at this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So like I said, I did get that energy where if you guys withdraw, if there was some kind of a combative situation, it looks like that'll disarm those people as well. So hopefully that resonated with you. All right. The relationship message says, in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new, who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So an interesting message there too, as far as it's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. That makes me think of that Libra energy that we saw there, the Two of Cups also, which is Cancer energy, but that definitely points to, like I said, it looks like people meeting halfway, right? They're on an equal footing. They're both bringing something to the table. So it could just be saying that maybe you come to a realization, if it is in a one-on-one relationship where you guys just have been getting in these pointless arguments, and it might just require one of you to withdraw, and then it'll actually reset that energy in a more positive way, right? And then that could even be what the Five of Cups is for you in that regard. Like, man, we wasted all this time arguing over petty stuff, and we could have been, so much further ahead. But again, I feel like it's just saying that those regrets would be a bit temporary in that regard. So hopefully that resonates with you. And the prosperity message says, even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you'll still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that had eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. So an interesting message there too as far as prosperity goes, because if it is career, like we did say with that Scorpio energy there, that might even be what it is for some of you too. Like maybe you might have some disappointment around career, but then a little bit further down the line, you actually end up with something better coming your way. So something to keep in mind there too. Hopefully that resonated. And next we have Owl Spirit. It says, you see clearly now. There's the artwork, and the number is 43. So yeah, it definitely makes me think of what we were talking about there, where it looks like you're going to come to some insight and move forward from there. But let's see what it says. Okay, it says, Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged and you are receiving messages from all directions. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines, what is invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all that you are sensing, allowing your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Let your wisdom arise and be your guide as you trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide the clarity you need to understand your situation right now. Your relationship, your finances, your job, whatever it is, you can see the truth clearly now. So yeah, definitely a good message there. Like I said, it seems like you guys are definitely going to have some insights this month that are going to help you move forward. So hopefully that resonated too. And finally, we have a Mudra card for you guys. So the Mudra you guys got for this month is the Kurma Mudra. There it is there. And the keyword for it is patience. Interesting, right? Okay, so let me see if we can fit everything in the frame and get it to focus for that matter. There we go. All right. So yeah, if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can, but it says under benefits, activates the body's self-healing power, balances the immune system, reducing the negative effects of hypo or hyperimmunity, harmonizes the relationship between the heart, fire, and the kidneys, water. So if that sounds like something that you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of the Mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.